Good afternoon. Would everybody stand and we will say together the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now if we can recite together the Rotary four-way test of the things we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial for all concerned?
Thank you. People who are guest Rotarians or who have guests, please stay standing, and everybody else can sit down. And I will walk over here and walk around. Who you are guest of Meryl? Okay.
Okay, I'd like everyone to meet Justin Simpkins. He's a Watson scholar, and several of us are volunteering in the Watson program as mentors up at Chautauqua, and he's done some entrepreneurial work since then. Pin him down and you'll find out all about it. And then our city manager is here today, Jane Brodigan, and you probably want to talk to her afterwards as well. But no complaints. She is not doing complaints now, only accolades. And then we also have our mayor of our city, Suzanne Jones, and she's over there in the line. And again, the same thing, only accolades, no complaint. They're both here to listen to our talk. They're speakers.
Thanks. Okay, let me come over here to Sam. Sam, are you going to be able to remember the name of your guest?
I have a guess, yes. Tim and I met at the bus stop in Louisville. I was on my way to a camping trip with my son and had a hard time with the computer getting a ticket. So Tim Gilbert, he was on his way to a conference. He's sort of an entrepreneur. He's new to Louisville, and he's our guest today. Great. Tim. All right.
I'm John Krupnick. Sam Pottinger is my brother-in-law, but here's the real thing. This is a brother of Sam's. This is Bill Pottinger from Pittsburgh.
Here we go.
So I want to introduce to you Andy Bowen, who is from the Tampa Rotary, and David Fishman from Alexandria, Virginia Rotary. And they met with us earlier with the Peace Builder Committee because they're here with Friendship Force International that just is completing a conference here and are looking for ways that they might be able to partner with us and with Friendship International. So welcome.
Sounds like a good connection. Here you go.
Hello, this is Jane Cummings. She has been involved with education and has made many trips to India. And you should talk. Anyway, take care.
And over here.
Thank you, Jean. I'm pleased to reintroduce Leanne Marshall to everyone today. This is, by 5 p.m. today, Leanne will be our second newest member of the new century. So, welcome, Leanne.
Thank you.
Let me get through here. Alessandro?
Welcome, everybody. On behalf of Sally Brown, our president-elect, I have the pleasure to presenting to us the second visit of Jill Drury and Stu Drury. They live in Lafayette, but if you think I traveled a lot in my life, please reach out. It's wonderful to see how many stations in the world the Drurys have been, and now they found a home here. And I could say membership in the making. Let's call it like that. Thank you very much.
I did this backwards because you tall people were blocking the faces of our guests. But nice to have you.
Hi, thank you. I am so honored today to be able to introduce Gretchen Devereaux. She is a recipient of one of our study abroad programs. She just came back from Siena. She's a musician. She'll be studying in Paris. And I'd like her to say just one or two words.
Yeah, hi, I'm Gretchen. I play violin, and I'll be studying at a conservatory in Paris this fall. It'll all be in French, and I'm just really excited because I love the way that music is found all over the world, and it's such a beautiful way just to experience other people's cultures and have a universal language. So, thank you.
Enjoy your time this fall. Sounds great.
Hi, I have the pleasure of introducing my son, Cullen, and I'm actually in Rotary because of Cullen. Cullen got an exchange year when he was in high school to France and brought Nancy Stoker over to my house, and the next thing I knew, Cullen was all over the world. After he came back from that, he ended up going to college in both France and Canada. He's lived all over Europe and the Middle East, and now he's going to settle in Israel. So I'm going to let him just say something about his Rotary.
Well, you pretty much said it, yeah. So, yeah, my junior year of high school, I got to go to France, and it was just the greatest experience. So I encourage all of you to support recruiting more people to keep doing the exchange programs. It really set me on a path that otherwise I totally would not have gone on. It really set me on a course to different experiences that without the exchange program I wouldn't have been able to do. So thank you.
Cullen, get used to it. Mothers do say a lot about their sons they're proud of.
My guest today, here for his first Rotary meeting, is Jonathan Singer, who is a member of our State House and chairman of the Health and Human Services Committee, formerly worked at the YMCA here in Boulder County as a social worker. And we're going to be submitting a proposal for membership. Oh, and by the way, I have to just tell you, he's told me, for what, 5 years now, he's had a paperweight on his desk with a 4-way test on it.
All right.
Anybody still standing that I missed? Okay.
Thank you, Gene. And I didn't think you were going backwards at all. I thought you were just going clockwise.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. Have a few announcements to make. First one is a somber one. A longtime Rotary member in our club, Butch Hollister, passed away this week. And for those of you who didn't know Butch or don't remember, he joined our club in the year 2000 and was sponsored by Ed Mock. And our hearts go out to Butch and the Hollister family. There will be services for Butch on Saturday, August 17th at 10 o'clock in the morning at the Sacred Heart of Mary Church, the one on South Boulder Road. Moving on, wanted to let you know that our next Red Badge meeting for Rotary is Thursday, August 1st at the Buff, and it starts at 7:15 and should end by 8:30 because it always seems to end by 8:30. So you have plenty of time to get a good breakfast and get to work. And I also wanted to remind everyone that we won't be here next Friday. We will be across the street at the Avalon. So if you come here, I think you're going to see some children rehearsing for a Mary Poppins play. And that'll be your first clue that, oh yeah, I need to go across the street to the Avalon. Next up, we have a red badge to blue badge transition for Susan Connolly. And doing that transition will be Sue Deans.
Susans are here. So I'm always very impressed with the credentials of people who are joining our club, and Susan is no exception. I've known her for a long time, but when I read about her, I think, oh my God. Susan is a former member of our club. She has returned to us after a few years away. She's lived in Boulder County since 1999, but she started her career as a lawyer in Florida and Chicago, representing local governments, nonprofits, and various development interests. After 13 years practicing law, she went to work as Community Development Director for the town of Vail and was Deputy Commissioner of Planning and Development for the City of Chicago and the Vice President of Community Design for the McStain neighborhoods. She was Executive Director of the nonprofit Colorado Chautauqua Association for 12 years, then worked for the City of Boulder's Community Vitality Department as Deputy Director and Acting Director. Until August, she is serving as Interim Director for the Downtown Boulder Partnership.
It sounds like I can't hold a job.
She said it sounds like she can't hold a job. Hello. She's also Director of Community Relations for Hieronymus Inc. In addition to rejoining BRC, she's also rejoined the board of the Boulder Valley Women's Health Center this year. During her 6 months as a second-timer Red Badge member, she could probably teach the course, Susan has enjoyed reconnecting with members she met during her first tour at BRC and also meeting new members. She has expressed appreciation for the changes that make BRC meetings much more enjoyable and meaningful. She looks forward to club service on the Red Badge and programming committees. Welcome, Susan.
And this is the transition.
Wear it well. Thank you.
Something like that. You may have trouble with jobs, but I can tell you're stable.
Except for the jobs.
Yes. All right. All right, let's see here. All right, the next item up is, I skipped it. Carl was ready. I couldn't read correctly. This is going to be a program about the year that was, specifically about the programs in the year that was. Carl.
Thanks, John, and good afternoon, everyone. As chair of the program committee, I'd like to just share with you a little bit of a retrospective on the programs that we've done over the last year, and to invite your feedback at your table. There's a very short questionnaire for you to send us some notes, and I invite you to fill that out at some point here this afternoon. So, about a year and a half ago, Mike Brady presented a strategic vision, a 3-year strategic vision for the club. And as part of that vision, he said that we want to have programs that are of TED Talks quality. Some of you may not know what TED Talks are, and these are 18-minute, short, carefully prepared presentations that cover a wide range of subjects, foster learning, inspiration, and wonder. Exactly what we want at our Rotary programs, right? That quote, by the way, is from the TED Talks website. TED Talks don't come about by accident. They are auditioned, they are coached, they are rehearsed. So keep that in mind. Now, as the incoming chair of the program committee at the time, my ears perked up when I heard Mike say that. And during the last year, our program committee has taken this goal to heart, even though we recognize that it's a fairly aspirational goal. The program committee meets quarterly. Before each meeting, we survey the 40 members of the committee to evaluate the previous 3 months of programs. Here are the results of our evaluations for the entire last year, July 2018 through June 2019. So these are average scores in each category, each of 4 categories of TED Talks quality: good, fair, and poor. And of these programs, committee members gave an average score of TED Talks quality to 12 of them, or about 1/4 of them. They ranked 33 others good and only 1 fair, and thankfully none poor. Now, in terms of that goal of TED Talks quality, there are 2 ways to look at these numbers. One is to say, 1/4 of the programs were TED Talks quality. That's not very many. We're not meeting our goal. The other way to look at it is to first remember what I said about how TED Talks programs are auditioned, coached, and rehearsed. Boulder Rotary Club is a volunteer organization. We don't have the time or the resources to audition, coach, and rehearse our speakers. Although I hasten to add that we do vet our presenters. We don't invite anyone that a committee member has not heard speak or we have not seen a video of them. So in this light, I would say that having 1/4 of our programs be of TED Talks quality is doing pretty damn well. So let me just quickly flash through the 12 programs that were ranked of TED Talks quality. John Hayes of the Ball Corporation, Matt Vogel on innovations in mental health care, Huntington Potter on Alzheimer's disease, Michael Doherty, who's in the audience today, on justice reform and public safety. Julie Comerford talking about black holes in the universe. Kim Mooney on death and dying. Jane Fisher by Rielson, when innocent people are convicted of crimes, about the Corey Wise Center at CU, among other things. And our own Mike Simpson, managing Earth's orbit in challenging times. We had 2 speakers from my old organization, the National Conference of State Legislatures, Patrick Patyandi on the far right and Tim Story on the left. One of them before the election talking about ballot measures, and the other after the election giving us a post-election analysis. Just a few weeks ago, we had Sarah Bergamy on sexual identity and gender identification, and again, our own club member, John Jonas, on celestial navigation. I think it's interesting, all 3 of these slides have at least one member of our club on it, and it shows the talent that we have in this club. Now, the program committee has been working on streamlining the introductions of speakers to give more time for the presentations. We started several months ago by having a biographical slide on the screen during the introduction to reduce the amount of detail and time the introducer needs to take up. Last week and again this week, we are experimenting with a no introduction model in which the president, while the slide is showing with the biographical information, the president gives a 2-sentence lead-in to the program without going into the presenter's credentials. We're going to be trying that, plus our old model of having a club member do the introductions over the coming weeks, and we'll be looking for your feedback about this in a month or so. So in conclusion, I want to thank the members of the program committee who have worked so hard on these 46 programs throughout the last year, and ask them just to stand, if they would please, and be recognized. I also want to thank Fred Hull and the Meeting Management Committee for making us and our speakers look good. If you'd stand, please. And finally, thanks to all of you who make these programs possible and supply us with ideas and feedback. There is that short questionnaire on each of your tables. Please take a moment to give us your comments and suggestions. Leave them on the table at the end, and we'll pick them up afterwards. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Carl. We wouldn't be the club we are without the programs that we have. So before I get to my two-sentence introduction, we're going to do a raffle drawing. Okay. I'm going to need these. Oh, yeah. The winning ticket is 225-2515. There's a dramatic winner back there. It's okay to yell. Scott Nelson, congratulations. Okay. Let's see here. George, do we have any birthdays today?
We don't have any birthdays today.
Very well. And we shall move on to the video presentation with announcements.
Hello, Rotarians and guests, and thank you for being here today. What a beautiful day in Boulder, Colorado. Made more beautiful by your presence here.
Join us August 2nd at 11 a.m. at the JCC for a meeting about medication safe disposal.
And a message from Alessandra Sachs regarding the World Community Service Committee's next meeting. It's August 16th, 10:45 in the main Lewin Hall right here at the JCC.
It's time to buy your tickets for Turning Wine into Water for Saturday, August 24th at 5 p.m. at the home of Anne-Marie Reeder. Tickets are $60 per person and limited seating for the first 80 people.
Seating or standing, that is, Sal. And speaking of Rotary International, here's Chad Stam presenting the BRC banner to the Rotary Club of Tbilisi, Georgia. Are you traveling? Visit a Rotary Club on your trip and make sure to take a banner to exchange.
On the bottom of the rib is the yellow submarine. It's for you to submit information about what's happening in the club. And it can show up on the rib and also on MP4.
Submit your information to have it appear. And next week's program promises to be just a bit more cerebral than the MP4 announcement video. It's Eric Cornell, who is a Nobel laureate of 2001, awardee for Bose-Weinstein condensate. He'll be here next week, so don't miss it.
Ah, the dog days of summer. Say it with me now.
Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you again, Daryl and Sally in absentia. Echoing something Daryl said about if you're going abroad and you're going to go to a Rotary Club, or even if you're not going quite abroad, but just outside of Boulder, you can ask for and bring a banner to exchange with our club. Norma Portnoy presented me with this banner from the Madison Club in Madison, Wisconsin. I assume if it isn't on the shores of Lake Mendota, it's very close. So, and they got one of our banners. So, and lastly, I want to remind you that here next week is over there at the Avalon. So, with that, meeting is adjourned.